Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to beautiful Las Vegas. So I made it down to Las Vegas, and I tell you what, I left yesterday at 12:30. I drove down to Reno, which was about 5-ish. I got in after 5, little dinner, filled up a truck with gas, got some sleep, and road trip from Reno down to Vegas. Now I did get in this afternoon around, I think about 2:15, 2:30, something like that. I did have a chance to stop over at Shelby America, which is the home for Carol Shelby's old shop and that. So Shelby America there, where they build all the Super Snakes, and they had a heritage museum in that. Nice, dug it. Some of the cars there, I can only imagine how much they are. When they say they're for sale, I can only imagine how much they actually are going to cost. Good stuff, but man, I couldn't stomach the cost of everything in there. Woo, man, those cars are expensive. All right, so as you can kind of see behind here, this is the mobile command center at this point. So I've got my SEMA catalog out. I've got a nice map here, and one thing I'm doing now is kind of finding all the companies I want to make sure I'm going to get to. I'm going to kind of fill in their vendor booth number on the map itself. So spent the night tonight just kind of driving around. It's about 7:30-ish or so, and I drove around checking out, trying to get a lay of the parking in that around the convention center, which is going to be chaos and madness. It was at 5 o'clock. You can imagine 5 o'clock on SEMA week was completely nuts. So one thing I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to probably get up about 6. SEMA doesn't start till 9, so I'm going to get up, try to get out of here, get some breakfast, get over that way. Maybe by around 7 or 7:30, see if I can get some free parking at the Stratosphere, or just pay the $10. That's about 3 or 4 blocks north of the convention center, and just deal with the cost of it, just so I don't have to kill myself trying to walk there in the day. So with that, guys, tomorrow starts SEMA. Pictures out there on the internet are looking fantastic. I am so excited to be able to do this, and we will check you out tomorrow. So have a good evening. Stay tuned. I will be at SEMA in the mañana. All right, guys, so day 1 of SEMA is done. I got a little bit of video today and a couple pictures, but honestly, there are so many people here at SEMA, which I figured was going to happen. There are so many people here at SEMA that you just can't even get a good, clear picture of anything. So 3 pictures I took today. One is a guy named Josh that is from Northern Colorado, that he built or assembled, however you want to call it, a truck. It's an old C10. It's kind of more like a race truck. It's got I think a stroked LQ9, I think is what is in it, making like 700 horse. Monstrous truck, fantastic, wrapped, everything. And so it turns out Josh, I knew he was from Northern Colorado where I grew up, but it turns out Josh actually went to the same high school I did. He's a few years behind me, so we weren't there at the same time, but he had family that was really around the same time I was at high school. So tell me that's not a small world. A couple other ones I took. There's a Mustang out there called Corrupt Mustang, which is a twin-turbo Ferrari engine, and into, I don't know what model year, it's like 60s Mustang, I believe. And you've probably seen it on Instagram and that, but I'll tell you what, it's wild. It is awesome. I don't know how they're going to try and up that one. It was awesome, but I was happy to see both of those on Instagram. And another one I took a picture of was an engine bay on the Road Rage Camaro. This one here, I think that really just, I kind of like the gusseting in it and how clean with the panels it was and everything kind of inspired me a little bit. Something I may want to do with the Fox later on. I'm not totally sure yet, but I got some ideas for that. So this is the map of SEMA and how the convention hall it is and all that. So all these little boxes and everything are vendor booths, and don't let the size of it, I guess, throw it off how big or how small this thing really is. So I parked at the Stratosphere, which is over, I think Google says it's 1.3 miles, and it's not even on this map. It's way up over here. So I walked, here's my walking, all the way there this morning. So now the Stratosphere, getting over there, it had free parking, which, you know, I'm trying to do everything cheap this week. So across from the street from the Stratosphere, a lot of people were parking their truck and trailers in that. It was free. I parked there. I got up at 6 this morning, got out of the hotel at 6:45. I was kind of dragging tailed because, man, I just really wasn't excited about getting up. But I got over there, stopped and got a quick Egg McMuffin and coffee at McDonald's, which was all right. Got over there, I think around 7:15, maybe 7:30, over to Stratosphere, walked to over to SEMA, which took me about 30 minutes getting through traffic and everything. And so I was there about 8 o'clock at the complex and started walking through the Optima cars. Now a lot of these guys, you can see, I think the ones I was looking for on Instagram go by Fat68PH, Fat. There's another one, there's one I didn't get to see, but there's another one called Autocross, or Auto X, as you want to call it, Autocross and Track, which I think just won the SCCA Nationals in his Camaro. And there were a ton of Optima cars there. So I started looking at that, looking at other things, and then the show opened at 9. So looking at everything, I actually started up over here, went in, all these ones that are circled, all these like this are booths that I wanted to go see. They're either somebody in Oregon, or the Pacific Northwest, or booths that I wanted to go see itself. So a lot of this green, I believe, was tooling and product care. So I think they had I think this is like Orifal and Tech Wrap maybe over here, which are vinyl suppliers, or vinyl manufacturers really. Avery Dennison, 3M, I think there's some other ones up through here and all that. And then, see, I got outside here, which is the Ford display, I believe, out here. So I got through this green stuff, and there's one I need to go back through tomorrow. I'm going to try to get back in here. This green I got all the way through, walking through, got everything. And then this red, I got through a lot of it. But I tell you what, by 4:30, I realized I had walked by the same booth somewhere back in here 3 times because I was so dang tired. I don't know, I probably walked, I don't know, maybe 6-7 miles today. And for somebody that's not used to walking that much, holy moly, man, I'm dying. So one thing I realized why I was getting so tired was that my shoulders were feeling very tired in that. So I had a bag with me and everything, and what I finally realized was that every time I stopped at a booth, I was like, ooh, I like their products. That'd look good on the White Fox, or that could do something. I kept getting a catalog. So this is day 1. This is the catalogs from day 1. And you can see that I'm not even halfway through this show yet. So I'm glad that, I'm glad and I'm not glad. I have a Suburban with me, so all this crap that I have picked up can go home, back to Oregon with me from Vegas. I gotta try not to do this tomorrow. I don't need 80 pounds in catalogs of stuff for the White Fox, but maybe I do. So tomorrow I'm gonna pick back up here in the red, which is a lot of performance parts, and a lot of the restoration is down here. This is where the Chevy booth is, so a lot of this is restoration, and a lot of the stuff I wanna go look at. Then you've got stuff over here in the blue, which I'm gonna try to get to maybe around lunch tomorrow on Wednesday, and see if I can get over here into the purple at the end of Wednesday or into Thursday. So this may be more like second half Wednesday, Thursday, and then maybe this will be Friday. I'm not sure yet. So as much as I wanted this video to be really all about SEMA and everything else, it's really very hard to film because there's just so many people. It's very loud in there. Still pictures is great, but video not so much, especially trying to do it with a cell phone. And I tell you what, if I had to stop in the aisle one more time today because somebody was taking video and said to their friends, "This will look great on YouTube," it made me want to stop being a creator. Holy moly, man. Everybody there has a YouTube channel, and it's like, dude, take a picture, get a catalog, move on. So with that, I'm going to get a few minutes of sleep. I'm exhausted. And then I have a after party tonight called Rappy Halloween. It's over at Mandalay Bay. It's a vinyl wrap party. Hopefully they're not vinyl wrapping people, but it's a wrap industry party that I got wind of that was free, so I signed up. Figured I'd go over, meet some people. I did run into a few people today off Instagram that I follow and talk to. Hopefully I'll get a chance to talk to them today, because it's almost impossible to really sit down and talk to anybody at SEMA just because it's so darn busy. So one thing I'll say though, after day one, if you think the Fox body is a dead product, you are absolutely wrong. There is so much coming out for new technologies and all that stuff that it's totally applicable to the Fox body. Even the 4i Foxes, I found stuff today, I'm like, that would fit a Fox right there. Whether it's a 79, a 99, well, that's not even a Fox. Just kidding, that's a test. But 79 up through 93, any of that stuff I saw a lot today is out there. And there's a couple companies already that I looked at their 2019, what they're kind of going to, and we may do some development work out of Basin Motorsports garage. So, will it work out? I don't know. But the offer and the interest is there. So, with that, I'm probably blabbing, and I'm going to get a nap and get ready to go to the Halloween party. See you in a little bit. Alright guys, so good morning. It's day 2 here at SEMA. Now, I just got out of my first class of the day, which is working with social media influencers. So good information there. So Chris Fix was one of them, Busted Knuckle, I'll list them all down in there. A couple guys in there that I'd never heard of, just not in my market space in that. But I'll tell you, some of the things I guess I watch, these guys are far bigger than I am on social media and that. And really, I think some of the fears I had of oversaturation and all that is really not justified. So I think some of these guys, even these bigger guys, think it's still out there. So I'll just tell you from the comments and questions from the audience, you can just see that the whole creating content space is so fresh that I think everybody just doesn't understand a lot of it. So for me, I think that's huge that being so small and where I'm at with everything, that I still have so much that I can do, especially with writing and that. You can see that there's just a lot of the questions that people don't even understand, how to even do video, how to make it work and all that. So the question is going to be what I can do for myself after leaving here, knowing where I want to be. We'll see where it's going to go. So today is going to be following up on the map, getting going. I got another class working on branding and security at the end of the day, and tomorrow they have an even larger panel on day 3 for working with YouTube stars and all that kind of stuff. So I'll be in the audience watching, but thanks to the guys that did today, and I'll put links to them down in the description just so you can kind of see who they were, and I'll do the same for tomorrow. But today, got my walking shoes, here's my map, it's time to get after it. Let's go get some stuff done. Good morning, campers. So it is day 3. Day 2 yesterday got away from me, as can be expected at SEMA. I got a lot of the rest of it covered. I've got one major area to cover today, at least for the first round. And the second round, I think I'm going to go back through some other companies. I think today is going to be the end of it. Don't really see a need to come back tomorrow. I think I will be able to see everything and do everything I've wanted to do here. And I'll just save the hotel and all that stuff and just drive all day tomorrow and get home probably somewhere tomorrow night. So day 2 was pretty awesome, as you would expect. A lot of it really was getting around to some of the big major booths, and I've got one area to do. The interesting thing about SEMA is you never know who you're going to bump into. I bumped into literally Dennis Collins. So if you know who that is, from Gas Monkey Garage, he sold off a bunch of his Fox bodies a year ago, at Barrett Jackson, which was kind of a big hoopla about it. But anyway, I literally bumped into him in one of the areas. You see a lot of people, I guess every time you see a line forming, you know somebody's there to sign autographs. And the game I've played with myself is, do I know who this person is? So I know I saw Rutledge Wood yesterday, Jesse James, who else? I don't know. There's a bunch of ones out there that I walked by and had no idea who they were. So that's just kind of the fun of it. So today, one of the things I'm going to try and do is to find some more lighting companies. So I talked to 2 Chinese companies yesterday that had no real footprint in the U.S. I was trying to get some samples out of them, honestly, to see if I could get some for the wide fox, get some LED headlights. I liked some of the stuff they had. They had some projector bulb LED lights in that, and really the unfortunate part is they don't speak a lot of English, or their English is not great, and my Chinese is terrible, as in I don't have any. So a lot of it was basically give me a business card and I'll see if I can send you an email that you can use Google Translate for. So we'll see if that turns out anything, but there's some cool lighting out here, especially for the 4i and some other stuff. I would say anybody that watches this and you're thinking, God, there's nothing out there for the older Mustangs or anything else. Everybody wants to talk about the 60s and the 70s and all that, and say, just wait. Just be patient, wait. It is coming. I promise you, it is coming for the Foxes. As much as they're on the resurgence now, it's only going to get better. I can see it out there. I can see it on the horizon. There is plenty of stuff headed our way for the Foxes. So with that, I'm going to get back to my parking spot way over in BFE. Walk to get a Egg McMuffin in the morning and a coffee, and then get in there. I got another education seminar today with some more YouTubers and stuff. I should say the content creators. I should stop calling them YouTubers. Content creators. There's another one today. Had one yesterday, and it turned out great. And I'm excited for the day. See what today turns up, but let's get after it. Ready? Let's go. Alright, so it's the end of day 3 at SEMA, and today is going to be the last day I go to SEMA this year. 3 days of excess is enough. My feet are screaming, saying, please no more, sir. So if I show you kind of the flip map, I showed you the other side the other day with the boxes, but standing back and looking at this is SEMA. It is massive. So like I said, day 1 I spent looking at all the stuff in the green, got a little bit through the this stuff, and then basically here. So day 2 I covered the red and the blue, which was the more of the off-roadish stuff, and then today on day 3 I covered all the purple, which the other map kind of made look the purple and blue as side by side, but they're actually an upper and lower level. So today was very good. I even covered where the 16 is out there, covered the Hoonigan and Dub Live stuff on the far edge. Even in the Dub Live and I guess the Hoonigan booth, there were a couple of Fox bodies here. So thankfully somebody tipped me off on Instagram that 2 Fox bodies were here. They are out of DZ Garage, and they're out of San Francisco. So they are here. They're both LS swapped, and they were out shredding tires, having a good time. So good to see some foxes here, trying to make some smoke with some tires. So otherwise, covering everything, the day has gone very well. Last night I didn't mention, or this morning I guess when I did it, I didn't mention that I spent some time last night catching up with somebody I'd talked to a lot on Instagram but had never met in person. So he's actually from Canada, was here for SEMA, and went over and met up with him and had a good, I don't know, maybe like 2-hour chat, something like that. Time went fast, I'll say that. But it was great. And it actually, one of the things we had talked about last night was sponsors and that, because he actually does some racing and some other stuff up in Canada. One of the things he had mentioned that being down here for SEMA for him was thanking current sponsors and kind of just letting them know that, hey, we're still here. We appreciate your support. So one of the things I really impressed today, and one of the things I made myself do, is get out my content resume and look down the list to make sure that I had stopped at every booth of anybody of products I've touched. And so what I realized just walking around is one of the ones I hadn't done was a smaller company. They actually gave me a free product, and I went and stopped by and said thanks. You know, I really just walked by and they're like, hey, do you know about our product? And I said, yeah, actually, you gave me some free product this year. I've used it in some YouTube stuff and everything else, and I've had a lot of questions about it. People seem to enjoy it. People are trying it out. And lo and behold, basically they said, do you need more? I was like, no, I don't. I haven't used all of it yet. But they gave me a business card and said, call this person the minute you need more, and we will send some free. So the advice that I was given last night through that discussion really panned out today. I made sure I have contacted everybody that helped out through the Wide Fox, even if they're big or small. If you were here, I definitely stopped and talked to every company and said thank you. And a lot of them honestly asked to jump back in next year. So you'll see a lot of the same stuff probably next year as a minimum and going forth. So being this is the last day of SEMA, I've got so much in my head, so many build ideas, so many things I want to do. I'll tell you, I tonight had some Panda Express Chinese food, and we don't have that at home. So whenever I'm traveling and I can find one, I typically stop and eat at one. So I ate there tonight, and I had a fortune cookie. Now this fortune cookie is not, I don't know, it just nailed it for me for this week. The fortune is, don't let others define your success. And why I say that matters and why it nailed it for me, one of the reasons I came to SEMA that I've never told you guys is that I've really been on the border, or I've really been on the fence about stop being a creator. I've told you I've done writing, and I've done, this is the concluding roughly the 9th year I've been on YouTube. I've always been a writer, but I've been more of a professional lately, or whatever you want to call it. But I've been on the fence about quitting doing YouTube. So the reason for really wanting to quit, or having the doubt as to quitting, is honestly I'm kind of like, I've been struggling with numbers. The engineer in me starts thinking about all the stuff I've mentioned before. Trying to do better at making money, all that kind of stuff. And I really kind of lost sight of why I started YouTube in the first place. It wasn't even about monetization. It was about doing something different, being fun, all that kind of stuff. So SEMA was really about kind of finding that yes or no answer to myself of, do I belong? Should I keep doing it? And the answer to it is yes. So really one of the things also I wanted to do here was to come look at the cars in the booth. And really the wide body is the car that I'm going to continue pushing myself on as my lab, my experiment, to see what I can and can't do. And the stuff I can't do, I'm going to fix. That's why I did all the fiberglass work myself, the whole wide body kit myself, all the assembly and everything else, even the wrapping, the vinyl wrap. all that stuff is stuff I've really never done before, and it was the challenge to me to overcome for myself. Coming out of SEMA, I have so many ideas of stuff that I want to do, and I've made this commitment with myself that the next time I come to SEMA is it's going to be by invitation. So it's either going to be someone wants me in a booth, someone wants a car I've had a hand in building, or somebody wants the wide body down here, whether it's in a booth or an outside display or something else. I don't know that just coming down here doing what I did this time is really going to be worth it in the future, unless I've read a really, really great reason to be here. So with that, SEMA's over. SEMA's done. I've got a wrap industry party tonight, again, different one, and that's going to be it for SEMA. I will get some sleep tonight. I will be headed back to Oregon tomorrow. I'm going to drive straight through, so I'm not going to leave at noon, stay in Reno overnight, and then get home Saturday. Tomorrow's Friday, so I will get some sleep, get up in the morning, get a little bit of breakfast, top off the fuel tank, and I'm going to be heading north. I'm gonna drive it straight through. It should be about 12 and a half to 13 hours, which will get me home after dark, but I'll get to sleep in my own bed tomorrow night, which is fantastic. So again, I mentioned before that I've done 2 of these creator things. I did ask a question this morning, and really I got some great insight into people much bigger than me and the kind of things they look at and worry about. And there's a couple great comments on there. One of the guys had mentioned that yes, he does products of changing brakes out, and he's probably the biggest YouTuber out there that I can think of on the DIY side. But anyway, he does, you know, brake changes or whatever, brake pads, all that stuff. And the comment he made in one of these things was that yes, there's a million ways to do brakes out there, but there's only one way that I do it. So that gave me a lot of insight and all that. So I'm going to continue being a creator. I'm going to continue doing it my way, and I don't know. It's been a great week to wrap up, and I've got so many things that will come to my mind later. I've had an idea about a project for maybe the 86 sitting there, and I had a stumbling block for a while on the transmission piece of it, and I actually today, which I walked by the booth at least twice, I stopped and looked at something, and there's a company that makes the transmission I've been looking for. I just don't know how I'm going to pay for the thing. Holy moly. It's like 12 grand. I'll leave it at that. That tells you how big of the scope of this project I'm looking at. It's a $12,000 transmission. I don't know how I'd pay for it, but hey, you want to pay to play and be the best, you got to do it. So that is it, guys. Thank you for watching this. Hopefully it's not too terrible, but SEMA was flat and fantastic. If you ever get a chance to go, at least go once. And I've definitely got some ideas for the future, and if you have questions on like what you should and shouldn't do, I'll do that. I may do some other videos on SEMA, because right now I tell you I am tired. I'm probably droning on a little bit. I'm probably slurring a little bit. Really need to get some sleep, and I've actually probably slept more than a lot of people here. But SEMA is fantastic. It's just, it's an experience. It's like Disneyland for cars. That's all I can say, unless Disney World's even better with some Epcot. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching this. Hopefully it's not terrible. It's probably not great on going to SEMA, but I will share out a lot more stuff as the time comes up. And I'll tell you this, I've had a lot of ideas here, and I'll tell you on the wide body, I'll tell you there's too many of them out there. I've had a lot of guys say, hey, they wanted to know the magic secret formula of doing a wide body, doing this and that. And because I share out everything I do and done, there's a lot more being built or that have been built, and it's time for the Wide Fox to make another leap into individuality. So I've talked to a lot of companies this week on stuff I saw that I would like to put on the wide body to again make it completely unique. So that is one thing you may see in the future. I've got a lot of ideas, I've got a lot of catalogs, I've got a lot of phone calls and emails to get out there, but the wide body is probably not going to stay the same as it sits in the garage today. So that's it for this time from Basin Motorsports. I'm going to take a nap, go to a party, get on the road driving, and the next time you see me, I will be back in the garage. See you next time. Hey guys, so here's the deal. So I had already finished up filming for the day at the hotel, right? Here's some little bonus reel. So I went to the wrap party this evening, didn't know anybody, got some good swag, and then I get a message from a nefarious East Coaster that I've been trying to hook up with all week. He just got in Wednesday here to the show. I'm now going through MGM, and I'm on the hunt. So he supposedly is at Hard Rock, trying to get out here to the strip so that I can get over to him. So here's the fun, see if I can actually chase this cat down and have some good times. So let's go on the hunt. Here we go. What are you doing, dude?
Now I've got the last cigarette. Guess we're going to a table. What's happening? What you been doing?
Good.
Motherfucker. He's videoing us. This ain't
Oh,
good.
fuck yeah, dude. This is all on YouTube right here. This is all on YouTube. The nefarious East Coast crew.
East Coast.
13th floor. Going down.
So the question is, do you know who that was? And if you don't, that's okay. So I just had some dinner with a couple of guys from the East Coast. They are notorious, nefarious, whatever you want to call it. But I'm back at the hotel, and well, it's 12:10 a.m. I'm trying to get up at 6. Well, that's not going to work. I'm just going to not even set an alarm. Get up, get out of here, and head back to Oregon. So that's it for SEMA week. A little bonus reel there, and that's a good week. Good way to cap it off, too. So get out of my room. I'll see you next week.